Hey everyone, welcome to Fun Friday number 3. Coach Jake here. Before we get started, I want to thank all of you and your families for being so supportive and encouraging about my first 2 videos. I've never done anything like this before, and it feels really great to find out that people are enjoying it. I also really enjoy all the great feedback I'm getting. One thing I learned is that even though a lot of you liked the Dominoes video, a lot of you were disappointed that it wasn't another Pokemon video. So I decided to post 2 videos this week. This one, which I'll get to in a moment, and another one, which you should be able to find in your virtual classrooms that will be dedicated to anyone who wants to join the Abernethy Pokemon Club. Now, these videos are kind of a lot of work, and I still have to find time to help my kids with school and to do chores and my other job, which is an editor for PDX Parent Magazine. So the Pokemon lesson won't be taught by me, but instead it'll be my good friend who's a Pokemon master who I met playing the card game. He's great. You'll love him. He really knows his stuff. This week, he'll be teaching you everything you need to know about how to set up and start your first card battle. And he'll have a fun assignment for you as well. But let's get right to this week's Fun Friday activity, drawing games. Now, art is something we all do, and we all have our own way of doing it. But drawing games take our ability to draw and combine it with our ability to communicate, to identify objects and ideas, to work quickly and with others, and to have fun and just laugh. If you've ever played a drawing game, you know how fun they can be. But did you know that your ability to draw, as a way to communicate with other people, is one of the most important steps in the history of human beings? Before we get to the games, let's learn a little more about cave paintings. Cave paintings are drawings that were made on the walls of caves where the first humans lived. They were the first form of written communication on Earth. The oldest ones discovered are from the Paleolithic era, at least 40,000 years ago. Many of them depict large wild animals, but some are just shapes, or even hand tracings. They were either carved into the cave walls, or were drawn using pigment inks made from rocks and other minerals. Each painting tells a story of who was there and what they saw, and they can be found on every continent on Earth, except Antarctica. Now, this week's assignment is make your own cave paintings. What you're going to want to do is grab a marker, preferably a Sharpie if you want it to last as long as the Paleolithic era, and then just draw all over the walls of your house. The kitchen, your parents' bedroom, wherever. Just be creative.
Jacob!
What? Don't do that?
Don't do that. Don't ever do that.
What are you thinking? You can't tell them to draw on their walls. Jake, you have a responsibility to these kids. You can't just tell them to start.
Okay, so I want to apologize. I may have gotten a little carried away with this week's activity. So please do not, I repeat, do not draw on the walls of your house. You can maybe draw some animals or hand tracings, something, and hang them on your refrigerator. The refrigerator. But yeah, so let's get to the drawing games. Now, it seems like there are more than 40,000 drawing games out there. Here's a short list of some good ones you can find. But today, I'm going to talk about just 2 board games. One is a classic, the other one's brand new, but just as fun. And the great thing about both of them is that you don't really need to have them or buy them. With a little creativity, you can play either one with just your own pens or pencils and some scrap paper. The first is the classic, Pictionary. It's just like charades, but instead of acting out the secret word, you're drawing it instead. In this game, the object is to get your teammates to guess as many words that you can draw before time runs out. Each player takes turns drawing and guessing until the game is over and you add up your scores. It's a lot of fun. And if you don't already have the game at home, you can use this free Pictionary word generator that will give you as many words as you need, organized by difficulty, from easy to very hard. Then all you need is a marker and a stack of paper that's big enough for everyone to see what you're drawing. If you don't already have the game and you want to buy it, I recommend the newest release, Pictionary Air. In this version of the game, you get a magic wand that can draw in the air, and the picture shows up right on the screen of your tablet or phone. You can even share the screen to the TV for a better view of the action. Here's a clip of my family playing Pictionary Air. Tree.
House.
Broccoli.
Uh,
Bush.
Uh,
Cloud.
Flower.
Mushroom. Cauliflower. Cup.
Banana.
Bowl.
A boat.
Saucer.
Toilet. Yes.
Storm. Clouds. Oh, a
Horseshoe.
Boat. A boat. You're taking a boat. It's
Nike.
pirate.
Adidas.
Storm. Clouds.
So much fun. You know who else is fun? Bob Ross. He's a little before your time, but your parents definitely remember him. Here he is, back in the day, teaching us all how to paint in his totally chill way.
I tell you what, I want another tree. So you can change your mind. I'm going to have a tree that lives right here. There it is. I don't want this one big tree to get lonely. Trees are like all of us. They need friends. Now he has a friend.
Now, Bob Ross had a saying, "We don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents." And that's the name of a great new drawing game inspired by the artist. In Happy Little Accidents, the goal is to take little doodles or squiggles drawn by other players and quickly turn them into the magic word. Then everyone explains their drawings, just like Bob Ross explained painting to his TV audience on PBS. At the end, everyone votes on their favorite drawings to decide the winner. Now, voting games are not always the most family friendly, but you can always take this part of the game out and have no winner. That's the way my family likes to play. Here are some of our creations from last night's game. The black ink is the scribble, and the colored ink is what the player came up with to illustrate the word. And again, you really don't need to buy this game. You just need some scraps of paper, a few different colored pens and pencils, and a timer of some sort. But if you do choose to purchase, you'll be supporting the legacy of an artist who donated half of his 30,000 paintings to PBS for their fundraisers, and many more to other charities and museums. So those are my family's 2 favorite drawing board games. But there are tons of drawing games for computers, tablets, and phones too, that won't waste so much paper. 2 of the most popular are Draw Something and Draw It, and both are free to play. They're not so different from the Pictionary style of game where you draw something and someone else has to guess what it is. But Google has a game that's similar called Quick Draw that has a special twist. The person guessing isn't a person at all. It's actually a computer brain called a neural network. And every time you play, you're making this computer brain smarter. That's because neural networks need lots of data or information that's collected and sorted to learn from. When you play the game, you're feeding it data and teaching it to better recognize shapes and patterns. Here, check this out.
I see matches, or fork. Oh, I know, it's broccoli. I see circle, or moon, or baseball, or cherry, or blueberry. Oh, I know, it's binoculars. I see elbow, or line, or square, or radio, or suitcase. Oh, I know, it's television.
So that's fun for a minute, but you'll quickly realize that this neural network is already super smart and can guess your drawings in a flash. Now, if you want to make your brain smarter, I suggest you try my favorite drawing game, which is nothing like the ones we've already looked at. It's a free game for tablets and phones called Happy Glass. In this game, your job is to solve a series of puzzles to get water to fill up a cup. This is called engineering, which is the science of creating structures to solve problems. All you have to do is swipe your finger across the screen to draw your answer and then see what happens. Sometimes the cup will fill up perfectly, and other times the water will get everywhere else but the cup. You get extra stars for being efficient or using as little ink as possible. And there are 500 levels of increasing difficulty, so it's a great way to learn problem solving, experimentation, gravity, physics, and a lot of other important engineering concepts. And you won't even get wet. So that's it for today. Your assignment for this week? Don't draw on your walls. Don't draw on your walls. Please, don't do it. And if you want to play a drawing game or make up your own, that's good too. Send me some of your artwork either through your virtual classroom or by email at jweiss@pps.net. And don't forget to check out the other video I've posted this week if you want to learn more about Pokemon. Have fun playing, and until next week, win, lose, or draw, have a great Fun Friday. See ya.